Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are Neo. I'm Enoch, and this is my teammate Anna, Angie, Bosco, and Michael. At first, when we first start playing Monsoon Sim, it's actually really difficult for us because we didn't receive much training and we weren't told much about Monsoon Sim, and we don't even have our own coach. So we had to study everything by ourselves. And at some point of time, we decided to look up online and see if there's other successful business company where we can learn the strategy from. In which we discovered Sarah. They have this strategy called fast tailored fashion model, in which the fast and tailored refers to that they can quickly and flexibly adapt to the market trends. We found this really useful in Monsoon Sim with the ever-changing market. Therefore, we developed it into our own Neo, fast and tailored juice model, in which we don't have a fixed plan on what to do, but accept just a concept of what things that need to be done. And so it allowed us to quickly adapt to the market difference and market trends within the game.
So this is our role distribution. We distributed our roles according to our strength and weakness. This maximizes our communication and collaboration. We even set up a sitting plan so that we can communicate to each other in the best way. This is our strategy and execution breakdown. Our main goal of every game was to lower the cost of goods sold to induce the positive cycle in our business. In order to do this, we decided to make a rapid investment in production department in a very early stage. In order to do this, we have to allocate initial cash in hand wisely, and we have to analyze configuration together every time before the game, because every time the game setting will be different. So we will set up the number of machines and production quantity every time together. And this leads to low cost of goods sold, which gives us the ultimate advantage in retail, B2B, e-commerce. This leads to our mid-stage. In the mid-stage, we would go very aggressive on B2B. And by that time, we will be able to fully support our retail from our produced goods. To do this, we had to develop a special communication method. For example, we came up with this code words, make an order A or make an order B, to simplify a repetitive work together. And in the mid-game, sometimes when the vendors run out of stock, then we will have our crisis management. For example, we'll talk to each other in different departments to find the best alternate solution at the time. Because every time there will be different items on e-commerce, there will be different items on B2B, or the vendor stock will be different. Thus, through our conversation, we can successfully manage our retail stock out and the B2B orders. And at the end, it's really important to make sure that we order things very precisely, because we don't give up on anything. We don't give up on retail, we don't give up on B2B until the very end. And this is really important because the stock out marks also count until the very end. Thus, we will order quantity very precisely, and we'll order the inventory management very well, and then we'll turn down our rental to daily contracts so we can manage the rental space every day.
So in the beginning, our team has worked individually according to our job distribution. And soon we realized that we were touching different parts of the elephant blindly. This was a problem to us. This prevented us to view the game in a big picture to come up with an effective strategy and plan. So to overcome this, we have come up with our equation. Collaboration and communication makes the best teamwork. So throughout the game, we have understand that although we have a different role distribution, for example, Anna is in charge of production, I am in charge of retail, and Enoch is in charge of B2B. Three of us, we seem to have a different role. However, we need to actively communicate with one another. If we don't have enough stock in warehouse, it will affect both retail and B2B negatively. So we learn to teach to learn each other, and came up with the best synergy and the powerful teamwork.
Thank you, Angie. And then throughout the game, what we learn is we learn it through the experiment. We know our honorable guests come from different industries, some come from IT industry, or some come from the investment industry. So we learn in every company, we don't have the best practice, but we need to learn through the game and find our best practice. So in our competition, in this match, we think the most important thing for us is we learn from experiencing.
So what we learned is the more we peel,
the more hidden knowledge we will discover. And hope to see you guys in the next year's competition. We are
Collaborate!
Innovate! Neo! Thank you.
Thank you, Leo, for this presentation. Thank you. We move on to the Q&A session.
Okay, we have studied your data. It seems that you have good strategies, good communication, good teamwork. However, the results seems that the market share, the profit, and it's not really in the high side. It's around average. What do you think? What you will suggest if you want, you can change in order to improve the performance overall? Anything special you think you can learn and improve?
One thing that we could definitely improve is the time that is required to lower the cost of goods sold. In the beginning, although our strategy is to produce as much as possible so that we don't procure finished goods, sometimes the vendor will run out of stock. In that case, we'll have to procure from e-commerce or somewhere else. That led to higher cost of goods sold, which we couldn't really keep up with our strategy that we planned to. But we did come up with alternative solution at the time. I think we can improve on much faster or a production stage, or try to make it more stable by doing it step by step.
Anything else for example, in the marketing, your strategy is to make the getting more market share or get enough profit margin. What is your strategies now or should improve?
So basically, for our marketing strategy, we aim to get the most market share. So like we have been aggressive on our marketing expense to make sure that we will get enough exposure to the market and meet the demand. And in turn, we did an active communication with the warehouse and production teammates to make sure that we will have enough stocks in the inventory to meet the demand when there's peak.
How about the pricing strategies? You prefer more in the putting more marketing budget instead of adjusting your price.
So we have also worked on the pricing part. For example, when there's a peak time, like from the forecast, we can see when the peak time will arrive. Then before 1 or 2 days, we would increase the price 1 or 2, keeping the marketing expense the same. And for example, when we have too much inventory in the retail, like when there's an overflow, we will also try to lower the price so that we can get the most sold.
And on top of that, actually, we do realize near the end that we are spending a bit too much money on the marketing expenses. And we realized that at a certain point of time, the money we invest into the marketing expenses is not worth it anymore. Like, it's taking up a huge part of our expenses, and the return is not really justified. And we noticed this issue, and we actually also have a meeting afterward to further discuss on this matter. And actually, that's exactly how we improve over time. For example, in the first round of the final competition, we didn't put that much marketing expenses, and then we realized that we didn't do that well in terms of market share. Therefore, we keep on experimenting different stuff and increase the marketing expenses. Things work well. Therefore, in final round, we try to increase even further, and then we reach this certain point that it doesn't work anymore. And we must admit that we aren't doing. There are parts that we can improve, but I think this is exactly how Monsoon Sim is such a great game where we can keep learning from experimenting and discussing on ourselves. Any further question from the judges?
The team is from Hong Kong?
Basically, 3 of us are from local, so the three guys here are from Hong Kong, and 2 of us are from Korea, but we are full-time students in Hong Kong, so we all go to HKUST, and that's how we met, UST, yeah.
Thank you so much.